Hello and welcome to this week's episode of John's Garage. This week we are back in the Transport Museum again, and this week we are having a look at this incredibly rare Mk1 Ford Escort van. Incredibly rare little car, so I'm delighted to be able to take this one out and show you folks this one today. Okay, so what have we got here? So, what made the Escort brilliant was not just its styling, which is gorgeous with that dog bone grille up front and the Coke bottle styling, even transferring onto the panel vans, but it was also its range of, I suppose, in some ways basic, but easy to maintain, very reliable and very durable engines and gearboxes and transmissions. So, what does this particular commercial van come with? Well, it has a 1.1 litre Kent cross-flow engine, 4-speed manual gearbox, 3-speed automatic was also available on the non-commercial examples of the Escort. And as well as that, then you have a solid rear axle, rear wheel drive. All pretty basic, but it came together in a beautifully styled package, well priced, well spec'd, and it looked cool. Frankly, it still looks bloody cool. This particular one, incredibly original, apart from a couple of different things. I can't remember whether the wing mirrors or the door mirrors are the originals. I've just forgotten. The other thing that isn't original, so one of these isn't original. The other thing which isn't original is the wheels, but as retro mods go, I actually think they suit the car really well. Other than that, the car has been fully restored, but it is back to original specification. So let's take a little look around the car. We'll have a talk about the engine. We'll have a look inside and then we'll take it for a drive, okay? So let's go, folks. Okay, folks, so it's all pretty conventional in here. What do we have? Let's start with the basics. Okay, we have a heater, we have a cool air from the outside. We can direct it up towards your face, towards the windscreen, and down towards your feet as well. As would be very important in any 70s car, we have a huge ashtray. For some reason, it's absolutely massive. You could put, Christ, 4 cigars, 3 or 4 boxes of Benson in there if you wanted. 2-speed fan for blowing that air on you. You also have a choke here and windscreen wipe as well, all right? Now, moving on from the basics, okay, what do you actually have in here? You have a lovely padded dashboard. To this day, I still think this dashboard looks cool. Beautiful round dials, lovely sporty touch. You're in the commercial, so of course you're going to get a couple of blanks. Don't see a radio fitted either, so unfortunately, if you were the working man that your employer bought this for, you didn't have any entertainment on the road. Of course, in the regular versions, that could be changed. You have these beautiful and so clear and simple dials here on the dashboard as well, with the warning lights integrated in as well, okay? Now, what dials do you get? Well, you get your speedometer, you get your fuel gauge, you get your temperature gauge. You don't need anything else, let's be honest about it, okay? On top of that, even in this commercial version, there's this gorgeous 3-spoke steering wheel. It says Escort in the middle. It is really, really, really nice. Lovely, sweet little gearbox, really beautiful to shift and to change. Not too clunky, not too heavy, nice and simple to use. Big handbrake if you want to do handbrake turns, but it works, I suppose. Lights for the dashboard here, and of course the indicator stalk here down by your right knee. Now, windy windows, but a lovely chrome handle, very, very nicely detailed. Put the windows up and down, and of course, to open your door, you just flick that lever up, and that's it. There is a door handle here. I suppose Ford probably would have called it an armrest, but it definitely isn't that. You get 2 sun visors, neither of which have a mirror, and you get a rear view mirror, okay? A little bit of storage here for your odds and ends. In fact, a modern car would be proud of that because I've just looked in it and it's huge. But no glove box to cover it up and to seal what's inside. Now, don't be fooled, folks. This is a working man's car, so you're not getting a leather interior. This is lovely, lovely, burn your backside vinyl, okay? And it's in black to make sure it gets extra hot on these warm sunny days, okay? Vinyl trim on the door as well. I will say, listen, it is vinyl. It is the cheapest possible thing they could source, but it does look really nice. It is actually nicely styled. Weirdly, you don't feel shortchanged in here, despite it being a 70s car, a commercial car, and commercial cars, even to this day, they're not always spec'd the same. You also get a little vanity light up here, or map reading light, whatever you want to call it. And that's it. It's nicely carpeted. It's nicely finished in here. Your spare wheel, of course, is in behind this seat, tucked in there. And that's it. But what I really want to show you is the load bay. So let's jump around the back and have a little look at the load bay of the Mk1 Escort van. Now, of course, one of the things I did want to show you was the load bay. You have these lovely twin opening rear doors. So we'll just open that up on huge big hinges, nice and durable. Now, there is something here I do like actually, folks. I'm going to point it out to you. The owner has fitted a lovely car fire extinguisher, which of course, very important in these days. Changes in fuel, and unfortunately the fuel is right in the fuel line, so certainly consider fitting one. Nice little hinge here as well for opening up the rear door. Hope you can see that. Nice and simple, but look at the condition of that. It's incredible. Somebody has gone to great lengths to restore this car, but they've really pushed out the boat when it comes to the low bay. These are always trashed in vans very quickly if it's been worked in any way, shape or form. But beautiful finish, beautiful attention to detail, and I just really wanted to share that with you. The other thing I really like in this particular van, let's push this down because I'll forget to do it later, that's locked now, is number one, the lovely red and black number plates. The owner again went to great lengths to make this car look original. You have two little number plate lights here as well, and this lovely chrome bumper split, of course, obviously to give space for the number plate. Okay, Stadiums of Kilkenny for value, of course, they're telling us here, and Mk1, the original and the best. And you know what, when it comes to Escorts, I'm very much inclined to agree. Okay, folks, so you can see in under here is the power barn of the Mk1 Escort commercial. We have a 1.1 litre cross-flow 4-cylinder engine, driving the rear wheels through a 4-speed gearbox, as I already mentioned. Now this engine, don't be fooled by this engine. This engine can trace its way back to the 50s. It can trace its way right forward up to the mid-2000s, as it was still being offered in 1.3 litre flavour in the Ford Ka of all things, okay? So this engine had a huge life. Very durable, very easy to maintain. One other thing though, it's very rough, okay? Very rough and ready. But you can see it here, fitted into the Mk1 Escort, fits in there nice and snug. It was designed for it, you could say, okay? Lovely original attention to details here. Important, this vehicle is wired negative Earth C handbook. And of course, come up here, there's warnings about checking your coolant level when the engine is cold, corrosion inhibitors, and Ford Antifreeze Plus, okay? And then of course, all the stamped details of the vehicle. But again, as I say, the owner has gone to great lengths for attention to detail in making this car as original and as nice as possible. So kudos to them for putting in the effort. So how you going, folks? You're very welcome along to this week's episode of John's Garage. This week, we're driving a Mk1 Ford Escort commercial van with a 1.1 litre Kent cross-flow engine fitted, and of course 4-speed gearbox and rear wheel drive. Now, just for context here, folks, it's an old commercial van. Despite how well it's been restored, please, the sound isn't going to be perfect quality in this. There is going to be rattles and stuff. There's nothing much I can do about it, okay? And also for context, right before I drove this, I don't know what way the videos are going to come out in order. I was driving a 1954 Morris commercial truck. This thing is so bloody easy compared to it to drive, it's not even funny. So what have we got here? This is where I suppose Ford's commercial success with the Escort started, right in the early 70s. Beautiful Coke bottle styling. They're really aping the American market and what was taking place there. There's a lovely what's known as dog bone front grille on the car. Very iconic. You know it straight away when you see what you're looking at. You know what it is. Interior wise, while it's plain and austere, it's very stylish actually. It's lovely black finish to the dash, lovely round vents, round dials, nice little 3-spoke steering wheel. And the ride isn't too bad either. Like for a commercial, grand, it's going to be a little bit choppy, but as things go, you can kind of feel there's potential here for this to handle if it had a little bit more power in it. But even still, I reckon you could lose that back end on a wet road. Other than that, it is what it is. Ford had massive commercial success with these models. They went on, I think, over the entire 33-year lifespan of the Ford Escort, they sold something like 4.1 million of these. Okay, now, obviously, various different examples, various different body shapes, anything from saloons to hatches, to sports cars, to convertibles, to commercial vans just like this. And of course, the Ford Escort died off in early 2000. There was a couple of models of the last one sold off then as well. but it was far removed from this. It was badly built, prone to rust, excuse me, ugly, nothing like this. This was really sharp styling. Now for me, Ford always have this habit of doing this. They come out with something groundbreaking. It looks beautiful, it drives beautiful, it revolutionizes the market, and then they slowly over each generation make it worse and worse and worse and worse. They make it bloated, they make it badly handling, they make it badly built, they make it everything the market doesn't want, and then they come out again with something revolutionary all over again that just captures the market. Now, if you don't believe me, just check the current Focus. Check the Mondeo, which is just now expired. It's the same thing they've replicated over and over again. Start off with a great car, capture the market, dominate the market, and then lose it with each successive generation. Anyway, sorry, I'm having a bitch fest about Ford. I don't mean to be, because we're in this Mk1 Escort. It's an absolute privilege to drive this car today. So again, I spotted this first of all in the Motor Museum in that video that I did. I fell in love with it. And of course, I learned that Fit Tires Kilkenny, which is the branding on the side, which I'd never heard of, was actually a real tire company, okay? They used to make their own tires, and which apparently, and again, I didn't know this until I was told in the comments, was actually quite common in Ireland. There was a number of different companies doing this. And it was quite common practice. I suppose over time, tires became cheaper. You could import good quality tires. Then, of course, you could import tires from China. I won't necessarily say they're good quality, but they can be imported. And of course, there became no reason for people to remold tires, to retread tires, which of course is what Kilkenny Fit remolds were doing, okay? Which was common in Ireland at the minute, whereby you could get cheap tires. Other than that, the Escort drives great. It's a smashing little car. I can see why these became so popular. Even this commercial, uber rare commercial version, it's just so cool. It's really cool to look at, really cool to drive, and I'm absolutely delighted that the owner let me take it out. They've owned this particular car since, I think it was 2019, they told me. Now when they got it, the respray, while the quality of the metalwork was really good, and the quality of the finish was pretty good, the quality of the respray they weren't happy with, so they had it resprayed again just to make sure that it was as good as it could be, and they tackled a few more issues that existed with it. And I have to say, it's like new. This is genuinely better than what would have left the factory. The only thing that annoys me about it, I actually love the alloys on it, or not the alloys, the banded steel wheels. What I don't like is the wing mirrors. I prefer just not have the wing mirrors, just keep the originals. They look a lot better and they're more functional, I'd put it that way as well. Surprising thing is though, for anyone who has never driven a car with actual wing mirrors, front wing mirrors, they're actually really good. You can see quite a lot out of them, and I can see why they were placed there. When they're adjusted right, they're actually really useful. But that's it, folks. You're all very welcome to join us again in John's garage. I'm delighted that the owner contacted me to take out this car today. And what I would say is, if any of you in any motor clubs or anyone's looking for a day out, send me an email. I'll let you know where this car is located, because it's in a small motor museum, and that person is only too happy to share the motor museum with other people. Again, Saturdays tends to be the day, or is most likely the day you'll gain access, and it's by invitation only, so I'd massively encourage you to do that. Anyway, adios from John's garage. We'll see you again soon enough, folks. Bye bye.